Hey YouTube, this is Samantha Romero, and sorry I haven't got to update with you guys since I was 35 weeks pregnant, I believe. I'd updated with you guys and told y'all that I was going to be induced at 36 weeks, and in fact I was. On November the 25th, I was checked in at the hospital at 6 a.m. and, well, actually I was checked in at 5:30, and they started doing the induction at 6 a.m. They gave me Pitocin. They just gradually upped my Pitocin throughout the day. I had a 12-hour labor. Well, a little bit over 12 hours, not too much. Like I said, I went in at 6 a.m. on November the 25th, and I actually had her at 6:19 p.m. So it was actually 12 hours and 19 minutes. I did have an epidural when I was dilated to 5. The pain was like really bad. I remember with my son, who's 3.5, almost 4 now, I got an epidural when I was 2 because I just don't handle pain very well. So I did get an epidural when I was dilated to 5. I tried to hold out as long as I could. I had a really good experience with my labor. I didn't care too much for the nurses that was there at the hospital. They were just kind of rude. But I just kind of, pushed that out of my brain because my doctor has always been extremely super nice to me. He was there the whole time he was there while I was at the hospital. He came in and checked me at 5:30 because his office closed at 5. And I was dilated, I think, to 7 or 8 at 5:30. And he said he was going to go home for just a few minutes and that he would be back. And so I started having really, really strong contractions. And I felt a lot of pressure down there. So I called in the nurse and told her that I was having a lot of pressure. And he hadn't been gone like probably 10, 15 minutes. And she checked me and she was like, "Oh, you're ready to push." And I was like, "Oh my God, now my doctor's gone. What am I going to do?" She's like, "I'm going to call him and he'll be right back over." So she called him and he came back over. And I think I pushed for probably about 20 minutes, something like that. Like I said, he got there probably 10, 15 minutes later. I was really, really scared. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm fixing, the baby's going to fall out, because you have that feeling. And at this point, I could not even pick up my legs. The epidural was so strong that it was even hard for me to pick up my legs. But I did. I had a really good experience. She was born very healthy. She didn't have any breathing problems. She was 36 weeks. She didn't have any breathing problems or anything like that, but she did have problems with keeping her temperature. Her temperature was staying very low. So she did have to stay in the hospital for 3 days. Me and my husband actually got to stay with her in the hospital. So they have something at my hospital that's called a boarding patient. That just means like if you are released and your child has to stay at the hospital for any reason, they give you a room for you to stay in with your child. Of course, I didn't really let her go to the nursery because like I said, I didn't care too much for the nurses. I didn't think they were very, very good nurses. In which I'm definitely going to express my feelings whenever the director does call me. The director came in the room, they came around asking, how your experience was. I didn't really want to make a real big deal about that, but she did say about 2 or 3 weeks post-op, they would be calling. They'll call the patients and see how everything's going and talk to them and see how their experience was. So I'm definitely going to, explain my concern to them. They never, whenever she did have to go to the nursery to be assessed and stuff like that, they would keep her there for hours. They wouldn't feed her. She feeds like every 3 hours. I remember they kept her in there for like 3 or 4 hours, and she she was actually due to eat an hour before she went in there, and I told them, and they just didn't feed her, and they brought her back, and she was like extremely hungry, extremely fussy. They didn't change her the whole time she was in there. She was soaking wet. It was just, I just didn't care for the nursery. Like, I would come out of the room to like go to they had like a pantry thing for the patients to like get some ice or something like that, and they would nobody would be in the nursery with the kids. They would all be at the desk standing there talking. So it was just really, not a very good experience there. But other than that, my doctor was really good. She weighed 5 pounds and 6 ounces, and was 18 1/4 inches long. Like I said, she was healthy other than the temperature. She had to stay for 3 days. We were released the day after Thanksgiving. Just kind of bummed that I didn't get to share with my family on Thanksgiving, but that's okay. Christmas is coming up, so that's all that matters. Let's see. Now now that I've had Isabella, that's her name, Isabella Denise. Now that I've had Isabella, I'm going to start my weight loss journey. When I found out I was pregnant, went to the doctor, I was 237. When I delivered her, I was 262. I'm actually down to 248 now, so I have lost, let me see, I think 14 pounds, how I counted it this morning, but let me double check. Let's see, 262 minus, what did I say, 248. Yeah, I'm down 14 pounds, which is really good because I haven't really done any exercising, but I will add some diet and exercise, a gastric diet, that is, back to my daily routine, and I'm going to pick up exercising again. So there you go. Sorry I haven't been on. She is 10 days old today, and let's see, I'm trying to see if I can get her a picture of her on here. She's like sleeping. That's all she ever does. Let's see. You probably can't see her that well.
Hey, Mommy.
But there's a little bit of picture of her. But anyways, I will go ahead and let you ladies go. And I guess that's going to be it for the pregnancy vlogs. I did have my birth control shot the day after I had her, so I'm not planning on having any more kids as of right now. So just stay tuned for my weight loss vlogs again. Y'all have a great day. Bye.